Kisah mualaf kali ini datang dari seorang pria dari Inggris. Abdul Malik sejak kecil sudah memeluk agama Kristen. Sejak kehidupannya yang penuh dengan kesialan, Abdul Malik bahkan ingin mengakhiri hidupnya. Tapi apa yang terjadi, Allah telah membukakan pintu hatinya, dan Abdul Malik memutuskan untuk mualaf. Masya Allah, sungguh luar biasa rencana Allah. Semoga beliau selalu istiqomah menjalankan ajaran Islam. Assalamualaikum pemirsa yang dirahmati Allah. Kembali lagi ke channel Hidayah Surga, channel yang membahas tentang perkembangan Islam di dunia. Sebelum melanjutkan video ini, silakan tombol subscribe dan tekan tanda loncengnya supaya tidak ketinggalan kisah cerita selanjutnya. Semoga Allah selalu melimpahkan rahmat dan hidayahnya kepada kita semua. Barokallah, amin.
I'm 23 years old, Revert for 10 years, and Alhamdulillah, still here. So I'm originally born in South Africa. And I moved to England when I was probably about 5-6 years old. So we came originally to Burnham, which is next to Slough in Berkshire.
Okay.
And then I moved to Wickham when I just started year 6. And that was a massive shock to the system, huge shock to the system. Because there I went from an all-white area where like there was like 2 Indian kids in my school.
Yeah.
And even then like their parents were more white than most of our parents, innit? So it was normal, innit? But then coming to Wickham, like I moved onto a road and there's just Asians everywhere. You know, it's quite diverse. You got black people, you got Asian people, you got white people, you know, you got Arabs, you know, you got all sorts of people. Not negative, but I just never seen these people. And then, you know, people are saying people are giving salam and I'm hearing this mad language and I'm like, bro, what's going on here? Like, and you know, people are saying, you know, we're going to the mosque and I'm like, bro, what's a mosque? And then I'll see like every Friday, like there would be just bag of people going to this one building. Like to me, it was weird, innit? Because I'd never even met a Muslim. I didn't know what Islam was.
Yeah.
So then when I hit year 7, now I was like, raw, you know, people are doing some crazy stuff, and I was intrigued in it.
Yeah.
I was like, raw, you know, you see people making money at young age, and you see people wearing these clothes, and to be honest, getting up, like it was a bit of a mixture, because when I'd chill with the brothers and stuff that were on my road, everyone would be good, you know, just playing football and stuff like that. But then when I'd venture out a little bit, you know, it was a bit different. You know, people were smoking, drinking, you know, they were linking girls, things like this, innit? So from a young age, innit? So that was very much put into my mind from very, very young that, you know, these things are normal.
Yeah.
You know, people who don't do these things, they're weird, innit? They're strange, they're nerds or whatever, innit?
Yeah, it sounds like a typical, like, basically, you know, upbringing in England. Like, but what really caught my attention, because you said you're 23, but you've been Muslim for 10 years. So you became Muslim like when you was 13. Yeah. So before you become Muslim, talk us through that process of you finding Islam. And
to be honest, at that period of my life, like, so I was a lot more aware of the world than a lot of children my age, you know, so all these sort of things had a massive part to play. So when I was leading up to my journey to Islam, so when I started year 7, I had already been through quite a few things that a lot of children hadn't experienced at that point. And my parents got divorced when I was about year 5 or year 6, so I lived with my mum. And you know, like generally mums are a lot softer than dads and stuff, so I got away with a lot more, and you know, I pushed the boundaries more and more every single day. So yeah, so I started getting up to a lot of things that, you know, generally young kids don't get up to, you know, hang around with people, you know, started smoking at that age, started, you know, smoking weed and things like this. And so yeah, like I reached a stage in my life when I was about 12 and I was just depressed, and you know, things like self-harm and stuff like that, I'd already started doing that from younger age, much younger age. I think like I remember I was probably about 8-9 years old the first time I, you know, had that thought in my mind of, you know, self-harm. I'd pray to God, even though I was a Muslim, I'd pray to God and I'd say to God, you know, just help me, you know, help me, guide me in one way or another, do something for me to show me what I'm supposed to be or who I'm supposed to be. I was just at a stage where I just thought, you know what, I've had enough of life. It's now or never. Either I'm going to commit suicide now at this age and just finish it all, or one way or another, I'm going to be guided to something else. So I would, it's not necessarily prayers and put your hands together like, Christians typically do and sit there and look up in the sky and whatever. I'll just be walking home and I'll just be thinking to myself, God, like, if there is more to my life than what I've already experienced, then show me.
Yeah.
And if there isn't, then make it easy for me to take my own life. So yeah, alhamdulillah, from then, it was sort of like, in my heart, I knew I had to give some sort of time frame. God doesn't just, you make a prayer and God answers it straight away. So yeah, as time went on, like, I remember I started becoming more aware, like, obviously the brothers that I was chilling with on my road and that, they would have to stop fasting in Ramadan because they're getting a bit older now and, things are changing for them. So I remember, like, Ramadan, I would say to them, like, what is this about? Like, why are you lot starving yourselves? And one thing I used to see is that they would always meet other Muslims and they'll give salam to each other, hug each other, shake hands. And bro, how do you lot know so many people? And they'd be like, I have no idea who he is. Yeah. And I'd be like, what? I'd be like, but obviously I didn't really care about religion in it. I was just intrigued into why they're doing these certain things. Yeah. I think I was about 10 years old when they started fasting, so I was like, you know what, let me give it a go. Why not? Like, all my friends are Asian, I'm the only one sitting here munching and drinking while we're all playing. So I started fasting from about 10 years old. I started fasting with them. That naturally got me a bit intrigued in it, because I remember, like, even at that age, you're fighting your desire to eat. Yeah. And I'm saying, but how are you lot doing this? Like, I was struggling. Like I said, I would just go to my house, eat quickly, come back out, and just pretend like I didn't, innit? Yeah. And they would explain to me, we're not fasting because we want to lose weight. We're not fasting because we want to be healthy. We're fasting because this is something we have to do as Muslims. Yeah. Like, I didn't really care too much about the religious side of it, but I just wanted to know, why are you particularly doing what you're doing, innit? And then so then as time went on, like, they would speak to me here and there about Islam and little things, and I was interested to a certain extent, but it wasn't like, I want to learn more. It was just like, that's nice, alright, cool, like, it wasn't that deep to me. But alhamdulillah, they carried on, speak to me bit by bit, and then I started to notice, as we get a bit older, you start going to town, you start chilling in town, you start going to the bigger parks in their area and stuff like this, and people give each other salam, and they would show each other a lot of love, and especially in Ramadan, people, they would all go to each other's houses to eat, and they would bring food, and they would even bring food to my house before I wasn't a Muslim. I just thought to myself, subhanAllah, that's a lot of unity, that's family, they treat each other like family. And I was like, you know what, I want that. I want to be a part of that, I want to be treated like family, because I come from quite a small family, and especially moving from South Africa to here, there was pretty much nobody here. It's something that I had never even seen in another culture, like even amongst, Sikhs. I grew up with a few of them, and even Christians themselves, it was never like that, But yeah, so eventually I was just like, you know what, I want to be part of this family. I want to be involved in this. Whatever these people are following and doing, I want to do that too, because clearly it's bringing them together. So I just remember saying to one guy one day, like one bro, I just said, I want to be a Muslim. Like, how do I become a Muslim? And he said, as long as you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you believe in the Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the final messenger, then khalas, you're Muslim. So I was like, alright, cool, I believe it. And he was like, well, then you're Muslim. I was like, oh, alright, cool. Like, no shahada, nothing. You just said, just believe in your heart and you're fine, innit? Yeah. So for like 3 months, I was telling people, I'm a Muslim, and, people are trying to teach me to pray and that, but I wasn't really interested. I just wanted to be part of, everybody else, innit? Like, part of the family. And then one brother said to me, have you ever been to the masjid? I'm like, nah, never. And he goes, oh, you should go. And he just said to me, go to this mosque down here, they'll be good to you. And I'm like, alright, cool. And he's like, yeah, just go. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, man, I'm not going. Like, I'm not going. Like, I don't know anything about this. Are you mad? Are you sending me to a random building? I'm like, nah. So then I bumped into 2 other brothers, and they were saying, have you been to the mosque? I was like, nah, but this brother's trying to get me to go to the mosque and that, but I don't really know what I'm doing, innit? So like, come with us. So I'm like, alright, cool. So we arranged, I think it was a Monday, and they said, you know, they do, at this particular masjid, they do like tea nights, where non-Muslims can come in as well and stuff, and they would basically host everybody, and they would bring tea and coffee and biscuits and stuff like this. And yeah, so I remember we were walking, obviously bear in mind these brothers thought I was a Muslim anyway, and so one of the brothers just in conversation, he goes, oh, when did you take Shahada? And I was like, what's that? And he goes, what, you haven't taken Shahada? I was like, I don't even know what that is, bro. Like, you know, I just about know Assalamu alaikum. At them times it was Assalamu alaikum. And then these two brothers started jumping up and down, started going mad. Like, oh my day, you're doing it. Oh my day, you haven't taken Shahada. Do you want to take Shahada? And I was like, well, what is that? And they were like, that's why you become Muslim. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I want to do it. So they took me to the masjid. I remember walking in, and like there was like a few brothers that come straight up to me, and then I was like, whoa, what's going on? And they're like, nah, they're like, so they gave me salam and that, and I'm just there like, hello. And they were like, oh, you're Muslim? And I was like, well, apparently not. And then the brother sat down with me, opened the Quran, he was telling me a few things about Islam and you know, the miracles of the Quran, for example. You know, I was a bit like, you know, that's amazing, but it didn't really do anything to my heart at that point. I'll be honest, like even though he's explaining all these amazing things, you know, like even if you open up the middle of the Quran, it talks about the earth having an iron core, and you know, in the middle of the earth there is an iron core. And he was saying, you know, the Quran hasn't been changed in 1400 years and all these things. I was like, you know what, that's nice, you know, that's cool, but for me, you know, I was 13 and I'm like, cool, whatever, it doesn't really make a difference to my life, innit? So then he's like, you want to pray Isha with us? And I'm like, all right, cool. So we were in the front row and I was on the far left side, and I just remember just standing there, just doing this the whole time, looking at all the brothers, like trying to copy everything, innit? And then afterwards they've done their announcements and, you know, the typical mosque announcements and stuff. And then I remember them saying, yeah, there's a young brother who wants to take his Shahada today. And everyone's looking at me and I'm like, bro, there's like 150 people in this masjid. And it's a Monday night for Isha as well. I didn't know whether that was normal or not, innit? And they're like, yeah, come to the front of the mosque. And I'm like, what? You mad? I'm not coming to the front of the mosque.
I felt shy of that.
Yeah, bro, I was shy. And then and you got the imam sat there, and you got the brother who was doing the announcements, and he's saying, come up. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I sat next to the imam. Imam was really nice, mashallah, very nice man. And he's just asking me, you know, were you Christian before? And I said yes. And you know, he's basically taught me what to say and stuff. And then he's like, okay, say the English. So I said the English of I bear witness there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, etc. And then it comes to the Arabic, and bro, it took me like 10 minutes to say the Arabic. Because bro, he's saying repeat after me, and he's going ashhadu Allah, and I'm like what? So he's had to pray ashhadu Allah, and then I got through it. And wallahi, bro, as soon as I said Muhammadur Rasulullah, and you know, people normally say it's like a weight lift off your shoulder. Bro, it genuinely felt like I was just sat on clouds, like. And then one brother from the back shouted Takbir, and I'm like, what's going on here? And then everybody shouted Allahu Akbar, and I was a mixture of emotions. I was so happy, but at the same time I'm thinking, is it on? Like, what's going on? Like, did I do something wrong? And now, man, everyone got up, everyone's smiling, giving me hugs. And there was the one particular brother who took me there, may Allah have mercy on him. I mean, I got up and I looked at him, and everyone's giving me hugs.
Hidayah surga adalah hadiah ilahi yang mengubah hati kita, mengukir kebaikan dalam tindakan kita, dan memberi kita pandangan akan keindahan yang tak terbayangkan di surganya, kebahagiaan yang abadi. Sekian, terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.